Sophie, where on earth are you? You're such a lazy, naughty daughter-in-law. Why are you not in the house right now? Come back now and drive me to the grocery store. I need to buy some necessities for the family.
Hi, Mom. I'm at my workplace. I'm dealing with some important reports, so I can't come home right now.
What? Are you really my daughter-in-law? A good daughter-in-law should always be there when her mother-in-law needs it.
But I don't remember you telling me about that. You should have said this to me from the first night, so that I could arrange my time properly.
Why would I have to do that? How absurd. You are my daughter-in-law, so your job is just to listen to me and obey my orders. That's all.
Mom, I understand that you need help with the grocery shopping, but I also have responsibilities at work. I'm sorry if it's inconvenient for you, but I can't always drop everything and be available at a moment's notice.
Responsibilities at work? Oh, please. Back in my day, we didn't have all these fancy excuses. I managed my family and fulfilled my duties without complaining. You should learn a thing or two from me, Missy.
Mom, times have changed, and women today have different roles and responsibilities. It's not fair to compare our situations directly. I'm doing my best to balance work and family obligations.
Your best? Huh! It doesn't look like it. I've caught you red-handed, wasting hours on your phone or glued to the TV when you could be helping out around the house. Laziness. Plain and simple.
Mom, I understand that it may seem that way sometimes, but I assure you, I do contribute to the household chores. It's just that right now, I have pressing work-related matters that need my attention.
Well, it's about time you set your priorities straight, young lady. Your duties as a daughter-in-law should always come before your precious work. You don't have parents. No wonder you don't know how to behave with your mother-in-law.
Mom, you're being unreasonable to insult me like that. Anyway, it's also necessary for me to have a career and contribute financially to the family. As you can see, each month, I always use my salary to pay for the bills in the house.
I don't see how your career benefits me. To me, your work just makes you become lazier and more dependent. And what I need right now is just a simple drive to the grocery store. I can't do it alone. Is that too hard for you to do?
I don't mean it, just that this is still my working time at the company, so it's impossible for me to simply sneak out and go to your place right now. You know how busy I am to process these complicated papers. And yet I'm still trying to answer my phone even though it wastes tons of my time. Mom, I think you should just calm down and put yourself in my shoes. Then you will understand me.
Oh, yeah. So now you are giving me advice? How ridiculous is that? How dare you do that? You're just a lazy, crooked, and irresponsible girl. You think that with your job, now you have the right to speak against me? Who do you think you are after entering this house? A privileged girl in the house of a billionaire? In your dreams. You're just a parasite in this house, depending on our prestige and enormous assets to thrive.
You can't say that to me. I know that entering this house is a huge luck for me, but I don't have any intention of taking advantage of anybody. I just simply think that with all my hard work, I could just gradually gain your acceptance and acknowledgement.
Oh my God, please. Don't act as if you are a victim in this house. You better understand that everything you have here, the house, the fancy clothes, even the CEO assistant post, is what we grant you from the beginning. That's why you have to feel thankful for that and know how to behave.
Okay, I know that you're rich and your business is like huge, but it should not be the reason why you could scold me and insult me like this, Mom. I have my own self-esteem, and I'll never do anything that would throw dirt on this family. I have made great efforts in my work, and I'm still doing it really well. Everyone sees that. So don't I deserve it, Mom?
Really? Well, I don't believe it. You're just a naughty and crafty orphan. You think that just with your terrible background, you can enter this house at ease? If it was not for the fact that you reached my poor son, seduced him, and tricked him into going into your trap, he would not have begged me to marry you. No matter how hard I persuaded him, I could not make him change his mind. He even swore that he would kill himself if I didn't accept your marriage. Then I had no choice but to agree. But it's not over yet. I'll reveal to everyone how two-faced a person you are.
What? Mom! What's wrong with being an orphan? I am an orphan, but I never hurt anyone. And I try to take full responsibility for taking care of this family as a nice daughter-in-law and an obedient wife. I married Thomas because I love him. I'm not like what you always thought about me. As if working at the company is not tiring enough, I even have to do the household chores after work. So don't blame me for being an orphan, because it's ridiculous and absurd.
What do you mean my words are absurd? What a terrible daughter-in-law. I knew that you were just a stupid orphan, a sly fox in this house. If you dare to speak to me with that voice just one more time, I'll kick you out of this house immediately. Mark my words, being my daughter-in-law now does not mean that you will be able to keep this position forever. But I think that you'll be unable to suffer this any longer.
Hi, darling, it's me. Well, could you do me a favor? I'm snowed under with my work right now. So could you please help me do the laundry? After work, I'll come home right away to do the rest of the chores.
What the hell are you talking about? Do you still remember who you are talking with? I'm Thomas, your husband. Why do I have to do the household chores? I don't marry a wife who only knows how to order others around and do what she wants.
Actually, because you're my husband, you need to help your wife when she's in need. That's what every normal husband does for their wives. And we even have the washing machine in the house. Are putting clothes in the washing machine and pressing buttons that challenging for a man like you to do?
Don't you talk with your husband like that. Am I your housemaid? I'll never obey you and do things for you like before. The past is just the past. I'm not a fool like I used to be. I had better listen to my mom instead of going against her and marrying you.
Oh, so now you regret marrying me as your wife? I'm just asking for a little help with the laundry. It's not like I'm asking you to move mountains or anything. And now you're becoming angry at me for that trivial thing?
Ha! It feels more like you're treating me like I'm your personal servant. My mom tried to warn me several times about this, but I didn't listen. But I figured it out now. However, listen here. I'll never let you make me your errand boy.
Errand boy? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? I'm overwhelmed with work right now, and I thought we could support each other. Isn't that what a marriage is all about?
Supporting each other doesn't mean I become your personal assistant. Just to remind you, I'm the manager of this company, so I have my own big responsibilities and workloads too. And I hate being ordered around, especially by you. Why should I bear the burden of your tasks?
It's not about burdening you, it's about sharing the workload. You're a part of this family, so you should take responsibility for it. When we were still lovers, you used to tell me that you would certainly help me with the housework and make me the happiest wife in the whole world. But what you have said makes me disappointed.
I told you that time I was so blind to go into your trap. I can't understand why I was so obsessed with you and all your lies. And I just believed them, like completely without a mere thought. But after seeing how irresponsible you are with a family affair, it's just a breakdown.
Stop playing the victim while I am the true one who has to suffer. Where were you when I was seriously criticized by your mother? And where were you when I was at my worst? At work? I'm not sure. Maybe it's your secret affair.
What? How dare you say that to your husband?
I know that you have been cheating behind my back for 3 months. How could you treat me that way? Oh, because I'm too busy to do the household chores. Is that the reason? Am I just an inferior housemaid to you? To your mother?
Clever. Yes, I'm betraying you. So what? You don't deserve all these things, so I'm finding another for my mother. Isn't that a good thing to do? By the way, she is much better than you. She has everything, beauty, obedience, and on top of that, she cares about me and my business. She's got all I need from a perfect wife. Compared to you, she's absolutely a much better selection.
Thomas, you are a deceitful husband. You better break up with her right now, or I will...
Ha ha ha! You will do what? Hit me? Tell my mom? Play act? Or take revenge? Do you have enough courage to do that? Look at you, a filthy little orphan. It's a shame to tell others that you are my wife towards my friends. You just make me lose face in front of others. A stupid girl like you will do nothing but create trouble for me, for this house. Don't you think that it's time you reconsidered and left this house?
You want to divorce me? And then you and your mom can freely kick me out of the house. Is that right? After all I have sacrificed for you and this family, this is all that I got? Have you ever thought about that? About the effort that I've put into contributing to this house? Is that never enough for you?
Oh, spare me the sob story. You will never have a chance to manipulate and control me any longer. Got it? Listen, miss, I don't love you anymore. Someday, I'll make you leave this house so that I can be set free to enjoy the happiness of my new wife. If that day comes, it serves you right. You have made use of this family for too long. It's time everything went back to its original state. You'll have to just surrender and give me back my freedom.
I'll never let you and her do this. No way I'll sign a divorce petition. She doesn't have the right to enter this house. I am your official wife, so you can't bring her into this family without my consent.
Oh yeah? You think so? You think I am still that naive guy? Not anymore. I will always have plans to kick you out of the house. Mark my words, one day I will make you sign the divorce paper with your own hands. Instead of waiting for it, you better pack your things now, because that day will come very soon.
Hey, Sophie, look out and see for yourself.
What are you talking about, Mom?
We have thrown all of your stuff out of the house. Now prepare for the worst days of your life.
What? Is it true that you are kicking me out of the house? But for what? It's not fair. You have to give me reasons for this.
Of course, for refusing to be a nice wife and daughter-in-law. All these times, you couldn't complete the work that I told you, and instead of apologizing to me, you chose to argue with me. It's obviously not the kind of thing that a good daughter-in-law should do.
That's not fair, because every time I did the chores or when I brought you gifts, you never remember. You overlook all of them. You just try to focus on every single mistake of mine.
But Mom, please, not everyone is perfect all the time.
So I hope you could rethink about this to make the right decision. I'm begging you.
Look at what you're doing right now. Begging me. What a pity. Poor you little girl. You are begging me so that I would bring you back to your luxurious life in our house? No chance. You don't deserve to live here. It's time you went back to your filthy orphanage.
Filthy orphanage? Just because I don't have parents, you just try so hard to get rid of me? What's the point in doing that?
That's the problem, Sophie. You are just an orphan. That's why you don't deserve to be at the same level as us. Being an orphan means that you get almost no proper education from your parents. It's such a shame to have you in the house. Ever since you entered this house, our business always got into serious trouble, just like you brought bad luck into our house. I can't just stand here and watch all of our efforts go in vain.
I didn't do anything. I simply did what I was told to every single day. And you are actually blaming every bad thing happening these days on me. I will not admit that, because I have no responsibility in your affairs.
When your mother-in-law is saying something to you, you should sit there nicely, listen carefully, and smile instead of behaving like that. You hear that? It's all your fault, and now you have to pay for that.
Mom, I have tried my best to listen and understand, but it feels like no matter what I do, I am always the target of blame. I can't help but defend myself when I believe I am being unjustly accused.
So you're telling me that what I said about you are lies? How ridiculous is that? You just can't stop blaming and putting the burden on others, even me. Sophie, you are such a crafty girl. Just don't know how to behave. And please tell me, how many tricks are you still hiding behind us? It's still not the end of your evil scheme, is it?
Mom, I've tried to prove to you hundreds of times that I am just taking care of my own business. Why do you have to make such a fuss? Wait a second. Is that the divorce petition? Oh, I see it now. You have found yourself a new daughter-in-law, so you threw me out to pave the way for her. Am I right? I can't believe you did this.
So you do understand the situation now. I have just met her recently. Oh, she's such a sweet angel. She treats me really kindly, And she also came from an intellectual family in the city center. If you even think of throwing her out, it's impossible now because she's pregnant. And guess what? It's a son.
What? She's pregnant? Why are you so sure about that? Did you bring her to the hospital to have a check?
Why do I have to? Of course I believe her, because she will definitely be my daughter-in-law soon. She's the most sincere girl I've ever met in my life. She's not like you, Sophie.
Seriously, Mom? You're just blindly believing that she's pregnant without any solid evidence? This is ridiculous. Have you even considered the possibility that she might be lying or exaggerating the situation?
Oh, please, Sophie. I don't need to bring her to the hospital for a checkup. I trust her completely. She's going to be part of our family soon, and I have faith in her character. Unlike you, she's genuine and sincere, and she would never deceive us.
Trusting someone blindly without verifying the facts is just naive, Mom. I'm not saying she's definitely lying, but it's essential to be cautious and gather more information before jumping to conclusions. We should be responsible and ensure that we have all the facts straight.
Oh, here we go again with your skepticism, Sophie. Always questioning everything and never giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. Thomas and I have talked about this, and he trusts her too. He knows her character better than anyone, and I believe in his judgment.
Even Thomas? What on earth is going on here? Did you ask Thomas about this divorce petition? He's not a cold-hearted person. I'm sure he won't let this happen.
Well, you guessed him wrong. Actually, Thomas was the one who persuaded me to bring her into the house and wanted to divorce you right away. Here, just see for yourself. Thomas signed this divorce petition yesterday. If you still want to contribute something to this house, it's your time now. Sign it. We've had enough of you lately. So sign this paper and things will turn out just fine as it was in the first place. Oh, and your stuff is all out there. We have no time to pack, so we just spread them all over the stairs. Actually, you still have to thank us for this because we don't do this very often. Got it, young lady? So now just go pack them and get the hell out of this house.
Okay, fine. I'll sign this paper and leave. I don't have anything here to remember. Every moment here is like a nightmare to me. So I'll set you free, and I'll set myself free as well. So long, Mrs. Stella.
Sophie, how dare you ruin our business? What did we do wrong to you? Such a cunning fox you are.
What's going on here? Oh, hi, Mrs. Stella. Do you like the gift that I gave you? It's been 5 years since I was kicked out from your horrible house. We should make it an anniversary, don't you think?
You are nothing but a terrible sneak attacker. You pretended to be weak in front of me and Thomas, but actually, you had hundreds of evil plans behind our backs. So, Sophie, tell me everything. Who are you really? Is your name even Sophie? How many secrets are you hiding from us? Just spit it out, now!
Oh, Mrs. Stella, could you please calm down a little bit? I'm tired of hearing you complaining and insulting. Anyway, I think that you should be the one to hear the whole story, to see how I ruined your family. Okay, so first of all, actually, I'm not an orphan.
What? You're not an orphan? Who are your parents? Why did you have to hide that from us?
I had to. Because the reason I entered your house was to take back what once belonged to my parents. This company.
What the hell was that?
You still don't remember, do you? 25 years ago, my father used to be the CEO of this company, while you were just a vice manager. But you tricked my father and accused him of corruption. Therefore, he had to resign and even pay an enormous debt, so that you could, of course, become the official manager.
So you are his daughter?
Yes, I'm his daughter. You don't know how hard it was for my father to pay the debt and even support the whole family. So after knowing the brutal things you did to him, I made a vow to make you pay for all of this. One day, hearing that Thomas was promoted to be the manager of the company, I decided to begin my revenge plan. So I applied as an employee there. Then I made gradual steps to reach Thomas. And then after successfully having his attraction, I sped up my scheme and finally made him love me like crazy. Then he proposed to marry me after 2 months. He was so naive at that time, I had to admit. During my time at your house, I had to hide the identity of my parents so as not to trigger your suspicion. Entering your family allowed me to be the CEO assistant, which helped me to proceed my plan further. As a result, I got the opportunity to get access to every one of your documents, including contracts, projects, and hundreds of other precious information. Then, there came a day I found out the money that my father was accused of corrupting actually belonged to you. So I just collected all the necessary evidence and let the police do the rest. After proving the innocence of my father, I decided to ruin your son's business. And it was easy. I just filmed some videos of him cheating with his secret lover and posted them on the internet. It took the whole company by storm. I mean, who could ever accept that kind of deceitful person to be the manager of a company, right? So, as a result, he lost his position in just one morning. Oh, Mrs. Stella, I even heard that because of your actions in the past, you have to sell the house and are about to spend your life in prison? Well, you deserve that.
Oh my goodness. So these are all your schemes? I should not have let you get into our house from the very beginning. We lost everything just because of you. Sophie, you'll have to pay for this.
Shut up, before I call the police. Actually, at first, I sometimes even wanted to drop my scheme, because after all, you were my mother-in-law, and Thomas was my husband. On top of that, I used to love this family so much that I even planned to throw it all away and live a happy life with you. But the way you treated me gave me more courage to continue my revenge scheme. And it was successful. Seeing your miserable faces on TV is such a wonderful feeling.
No, I don't want to go to prison. Sophie, please help me. I don't want to spend my life there. You gotta help me. We used to be so close to each other, right? You owe us. So now I'll give you the chance to do your duty as a good daughter-in-law. Save your mother, and I'll give you everything you've ever wanted.
It's too late now. The divorce petition has already been signed. We're over for now. And I don't want to have any connection with you or your family.
Sophie, please hear me out. I understand that things have taken a turn for the worse, but I'm desperate and scared. I never meant for any of this to happen, and I can't bear the thought of spending my life in prison. We were once so close, and I'm begging you to find it in your heart to help me in this dark time. I know I made mistakes, Sophie, and I can't change the past, but I'm asking you to consider the bond we shared, the love we once had as a family. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make amends, to right the wrongs, and to ensure that we can move forward together.
Shut up! I don't want to hear any explanations from you. Just remember how you used to insult me and humiliate me. I tried to warn you lots of times, but you didn't listen. If you had listened to me and tried to understand the burden I had to suffer, then things wouldn't be as terrible as this. Maybe if your family had treated me with love and respect, I would not have to resort to this.
Please, Sophie, I'm sorry for the things we've done. Please think about the consequences for both of us. I don't want to lose everything like this. If you help me now, I promise to make things right, to seek redemption and change my ways. You deserve a better life, and I want to give that to you.
Enough with the talking. It drives me nuts. Mind your own business, and I hope you enjoy your time there. Farewell, Mrs. Stella.
Sophie, please don't shut me out completely. I'm willing to make changes. I'll be better. Will you just give me a chance? Please, I'm begging you. Sophie? Sophie!
I blocked Mrs. Stella's number and decided to buy a new smartphone so that I wouldn't have to hear anything from them again. Mrs. Stella had to receive a 10-year sentence in prison, and I think that would be a very long period of time for her. She might hate me so much for that, but I don't care. That's what she had to pay for her cruelty. And about Thomas, after losing his position, he also realized that his wife faked her identity too. Actually, everything about her was fake. She was just a gold digger aiming at rich men for money. And the child, of course, was not his son. Hence, she stole all of their money and ran far, far away right after hearing the news. Thomas was so shocked that he even became depressed and then didn't show up even once. 2 months later, they found his dead body on the second floor of a rundown flat. The police said that Thomas committed suicide by hanging himself on the ceiling. About me, I went home and spent the happiest days of my life with my true family. My father was very happy because I could finally make things clear. 2 days later, he was invited to take the CEO chair, but he declined and gave it to me. At first, not everyone was happy with that decision. But after 5 years of hard work, I proved to everyone that I deserve to be in this post. I'm happy that things have turned out fine for everyone. That's also the way life should go, right?